Welcome and good evening to one and all. On behalf of Lok News, I would like to welcome on board a panel of eminent educationists for a discussion on reopening of school during the pandemic. Before we move ahead, let me introduce myself. I am Palak Vaidya Tiwari, for this evening, your anchor. To begin with, we have amongst us Mrs. Revati Srinivasan, a visionary, versatile and devout educationist with over 30 years of experience. She is the Director Education of the Raymond Group of Singhania School. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mrs. Jyotsna Mayadas, the Principal of Euro School Thane, having a rich teaching and administrative experience of over 25 years. We welcome you, Jyotsna.
Thank you.
Mrs. Vimlesh Sindhu is the Director Academics of Rainbow International School. Having an avid administrative experience of over more than 30 years in the field of education, we welcome you, Vimlesh, ma'am. Dr. Jyoti Nair is the Regional Director and Principal of New Horizons Scholar Schools, Thane, and a dedicated and resourceful educational professional with over 20 years of experience. We welcome you, Mrs. Nair. Mrs. Simi Juneja is the Principal of DAV Public School, Thane, as well as the Assistant Regional Officer of Maharashtra Zone C. Having over 30 years of experience in teaching and administrative roles, we welcome you, Simi, ma'am. This is for Revati, ma'am.
Yes.
As we all know of the pandemic getting panned along since a very long time now, so 2 years and we've been in this pandemic. So how are we ready and how prepared are we for the reopening of schools and getting and welcoming the students and teachers back in action?
I think we are fairly ready with the school reopening. It's something that we have been looking forward to, and I think it's something that students and parents are looking forward to. You would find maybe 80% of the children coming to school and 20% being online. But we have to manage with this blended learning. Schools are gearing up to handle blended learning, handle parents and students who may have different mindsets now. So also with teachers, they're used to the virtual learning now and virtual teaching. So there are adjustments, and I think it requires a mind of an explorer.
Sure.
And I think that's what's there. So I think that's the gain that we had, that despite the 2 years of pandemic, we've got a very positive mindset. We're looking forward to exploring new things. We explored a lot in 2 years. We're going to explore something more now.
Sure.
That's the way, I think, as educators, we have to see it, because that's the way the world will see it then.
That's so well put, actually, and especially when you said and used the word mindset. That brings to my next question, Jyoti ma'am, and that's for you. How easy or difficult has it been for you to deal with the socio-emotional well-being of your staff, your students, and your parents?
This situation of COVID
Sure.
is something that has come out natural,
Yes.
right? But we were not prepared for it.
Right.
And there was a sudden transition from offline mode of teaching, and then we go into virtual, where we all were not prepared for it. That was one particular aspect which everyone had to face, and somehow this transition happened to be smooth. When it comes to an educationist, we try to see that we mentor the teachers first to handle the technology. Same thing happened on the other end, where the children had to handle the technology. But at the same time, there are certain aspects of behavioral issues, social, development that takes place when the child comes to school. But when it is not happening, when it is happening virtual, the teachers are the main source of, inspiration, we tell them. So what is going to happen, or what happened at that point of time, is to educate others, to understand others. Since the teachers are, interacting with them daily, they know what is happening on the other end, even though it is virtual. So the teachers are the one source which we looked up to, and we guided them. They tried to interact with the parents, understand if the child has any particular issues, and try to sort it out one-to-one after the school hours. Try to connect with the counselors if they have any behavioral issues. So this was some sort of, homework that everyone had to do.
That's all right. Moving on, my next one would be for you, Jyotsna ma'am. We were introduced to a new world, a virtual world. So where we felt close through Google Duo and Zoom meetings, which was so new to all of us. So I mean, let me take you back and you rewind me through the first academic year that you did virtually, which was the 2020, 2021, where we went from a physical to virtual school. So what was your experience like?
Yes, it was a absolute turnover, so to speak, because I don't think anyone in their wildest dream would have thought of this kind of a transition to a virtual world and in so expansive a mode. And yes, definitely the Zoom and the Google Meets and all of this, definitely we were introduced to a new world and we were zooming in and zooming out of classrooms, be it as a teacher or as a child in the class. Even the parents were part of the classroom. So these were, very, very new things that we had to get used to it. And of course, it had its good points, it had its negative points. I mean, all the teachers, they initially used to feel very cautious, if I may say so, or careful that, now not only were kids in their classroom, there were parents also in their classroom, so they had to really mind their P's and Q's. But I think at the end of it, we all got used to it, and I think it was a long journey and a learning journey. And now, of course, the whole world has got so used to this that we take it in our stride.
Could we say this is the new normal now? And are we going to, are we going to continue this? I mean, I do agree that there's going to be a reopening of schools, but I think so many of us are so used to such kind of living that
perhaps you could call it the new normal, but of course we would like to go back to the old normal also. That we would like to definitely resume school in the physical campus.
As we know, board exams have been like a concern and a milestone for teachers, for the administration, and for students, of course. So I'm going to leave this open for you. I mean, what are the new rules of board examinations and how are they going to be undertaken henceforth?
It's like CBSE changed system in this particular year, in this academic year. Like we are having 2-term exam. Term 1 is over, that is MCQ type exam, and now term 2 is subjective type exam, which is announced from the 26th of April. Again, there is a concern कि from 26th of April, if we are going to start, the children, जो बच्चे हैं, उनका जोश जो भी है, it will be really a tough time for students again.
Simi ma'am, my next question is to you. The transportation for students has always been vital because we're bringing the child from home to school and then from school back to home, and that's like a major responsibility on our shoulders. So with the new SOP, we know there's going to be one child on one seat and there has to be regular sanitizations that have to be undertaken. So ma'am, what is your view on this and how is all of this going to be implemented? Is it going to be easy or very difficult?
Right now we are planning to commence odd and even.
Right.
That is the students' rule numbers.
Sure.
So if we are calling 50% of strength, and the same way, even that in transport, for transport also we are going to have 50%.
Sure.
So we will be able to manage.
Right.
Then slowly and slowly, I think we will come back what we used to do in 2019.
We all be in herd immunity,
Yes.
and again the full bus, full transport.
Right.
Yes, that's how it's going to
It's not possible. It's not an easy task to have this thing because financial crunches are also there. Schools are going to face lots of this thing.
Do you think the kids are as excited to come to school or they were excited to study at home when they were as
They are
relaxed?
super excited to be
Oh,
back in
so
school.
big.
See, honestly, I think if you ask me, why do kids come to school? They come to school to have fun
Yes,
and meet up with their friends.
Correct.
And if as teachers we think we are doing a great job at teaching and they're coming to hear you,
we are mistaken.
we are mistaken, sadly mistaken. Okay, so let the children enjoy school.
Sure.
But I would like to add,
Yes.
when we will start calling students regularly, for few days they will be very happy. But the day when they will get the punishment, then they will again say it was good. That is, we study from home.
Ma'am, my next question for you, Jyoti, ma'am.
Yes.
School lays the basic foundation of the child's future, the child's growth. But during this online examination, we understand that students were appearing by in a very relaxed mode, as in sleeping on the bed because they knew their parents were going to be right there helping them. And with now, if we all are so affluent with Zoom meetings and Google Duos, they have Google and Yahoo right next to them on their phone. So what is your view? Is that going to be hampering monitoring their career growth in future, or we're going to be, or we have to adjust through this? How is this going to be happening?
See, ma'am, I believe that every child has been brought up by the parents with certain values,
Sure.
and this is extended by the school in the school times. So somewhere the values are very much there.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that, teachers sab janti hai, right?
Correct.
So even if they try, that is only for 2 years maybe, but the future is not going to be the same. So even if they have tried before, or those who are really, following the values of integrity, on all those sort of, compassion and everything, so that particular value is actually going to help them to groom themselves in future, because this situation is not going to stay long. They have to come back to reality, and reality is giving the examination in the school or at the centers whenever board exams are there. So they know that. So how far the parents are monitoring them, we believe as teachers that the parents are invigilators. So really we are thankful to the parents, and we appreciate their effort that they have been partners in teaching learning process for these 2 years. So somewhere we believe our children, we have trust, and that 1% doubt that we have, let us leave it to the children, because and we will see in the future
Let
what
them
happens.
enjoy. Let them enjoy this.
Physical education, and through COVID, we've realized the value of yoga very highly, because yoga and breathing techniques very highly. So when the child is going to come back to school, how easy is it going to be for the physical education to be imparted to them? Because we are living in the world of no touch, no feel. I mean, emotional feel, yes, but no touch practically. So how are we going to impart the knowledge of PE to the students who come in?
I think already we received an SOP from the state government and from CBSE also regarding that we can conduct few activities of physical education, and a few activities are still banned. We cannot have all these activities, and we'll try our level best that children enjoy their physical education period.
And also the yoga activity. This is, you can actually do it at your place.
Absolutely.
Like meditation, like breathing exercise. You don't have to come in a group or have an activity outside the class. So these few exercises which can be managed in the classroom, I think we all can carry on with those activities.
We did this online as well, so we managed to get them into the group. And I think that's one period. So I've kept the first period as physical education for majority of the classes, since schools have reopened, so that they have some fresh air.
Jyotsna ma'am, this would be that there has been a smooth transition from virtual to physical school, but we also know that below 15 years of age have not got their vaccines, and above that have just begun, like up till 18. So what is your view?
Well, I agree with you that this is a question that is in the minds of most parents, that below 15 the children have not been vaccinated. We are looking forward to the next announcement being made about the younger children getting a vaccination. But I think the parents have some kind of a mental readiness to send their children back to school. When and what time will the vaccination come for them is $1 million question. As of now, we really don't know.
I think the government announced already in the month of March, April, they are going to start for junior.
Yes.
They already announced for that.
Yeah. What is the message you would like to convey to the parents who are now going to send their children to school? And what is that one word of assurance that you want the parents to have from the school side, that everything, when the child is going to be back to school, it's all going to be like before, from our end at least?
I just want to convey them, don't feel stressed. We are there. Once the child enter in the school, the child is ours, basically. Don't worry about your kids, don't worry about your children. We'll take care of them like you.
Jyoti ma'am, you would like to say something?
I would just like to say that adapt to change. Right? Because, when we say nowadays, if I say positive, people relate it to COVID positive. That is one thing that we need to change mindset. Thinking about positive means be positive, and let us see that our children are back to the new normal, and again they enjoy the school life. They live this school life, which is actually the requirement of today.
Which is that because we went from physical to virtual, and now virtual back to physical, what has been more comforting for you, working from home or physical working? What's going to be
No
exciting
doubt
you?
about it. It is always physical working.
Correct.
So being with the children is really a truly, blissful experience. We miss our children. We see them on the screen. We interact with them regularly. But when they come to you, they wish them in the morning or whenever they come, and they say that like about something happening at home. They discuss. There are children. They are usually the primary classes. So it is a different feeling altogether. But that we really miss. So
Correct. Emotional bonding.
emotional bonding, very much true. So life is incomplete with the children in the school.
But we have learned something
Yes, ma'am.
from virtual teaching. That is, now there is no need to declare holidays during rainy season. That day we can
Go for
that is that day we will, online teaching will be.
I think students are missing that.
Sure. Ma'am, I'll go with you again, Jyotsna ma'am. As a school leader, please share your opinion on how has the pandemic affected or impacted the students' growth?
I think the first thing that they've all learned, not just the children but the entire school body, is resilience. Some things that just come your way and take you by surprise, but you have to be strong and resilient, and you have to, overcome these obstacles which come your way in terms of mental challenges, physical challenges. So, as a school leader, I would say it was a tough journey, definitely for the children, definitely for the teachers.
Ma'am, my last message to you. What's the positive message that the pandemic has taught us, all of us, like students, teachers, everybody, parents?
I think it's a new world and it requires a new mind. And I think people have opened their minds like an open parachute, ready to fly. Because we must understand that there would be adversities. Maybe we had taken far too many things for granted. We have suddenly now started to value little things in life. We have started to prioritize things. We have started to give importance to life itself and the true meaning of life.
Very true.
We have tried to give a lot more importance to relationships. Materialism has taken one step back, and I think that is a plus for me, because I think children also have learned to value things which they have, and we need to keep doing. And I wish it was not the pandemic that teaches us these lessons. I wish we naturally learn them and we inculcate this kind of behavior. We have to keep learning. Technology is a tool. There are multiple ways of using that tool, and one can't use it as a crutch, but at the same time, there's so much more that we can explore with this.
Yes.
That's my message.
So well put. I'd like to just say one line, because I think for me, after listening to all of you, it's like a celebration of journey from a blackboard to a keyboard and now back to a blackboard. I think we're also joyous at celebrating this, and I'm so delighted and for this wonderfully insightful discussion that we've had together. Thank you so much to each and every one of you.